And seeing salmon on the side of the banks with the big claw marks all the way through them as they throw them out the side. Eagle River in Alaska.
Where's the eagle?
It's in Anchorage, I want to say, or near Anchorage. I don't remember. It's been 30 years.
Wow.
We have a busy show for you. Many taste. Dopey weenie butts. Just taste it. No matter what comes your way. Okay?
Love it.
Give me the pinky promise. No matter what comes your way, taste it. That's what we do here at the Hot Stove.
I think I broke my finger.
What haven't you broke? I broke everything in my body.
I
What
haven't.
haven't? You haven't ever broke a bone?
Just my thumb skiing was the first break.
Really?
Yeah, but then I got whacked with a tennis
That's
ball the other
impressive.
day.
With all you do, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Good balance.
I have broken everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. No, that was my
You
brother.
would think somebody of my size would just bounce, but we don't.
No.
Absolutely don't. Right, Taylor? Yeah. My favorite broken bone story. Does anyone want to hear it? I was down at Edda's. It was snowing like crazy, down there in the Pike Place Market where Half Shell is now. And I was shoveling all the sidewalks in front of the restaurants. And we had built a snow woman and had a little wreath as a halo on her head. And she was cute as a button. And we were just doing anything to try and get people to walk in the restaurant. And these frat boys come from the football game, 4 frat boys, and kicked the crap out of my snow woman.
What did you do?
I got pissed.
Uh-huh.
So I went out there and for some reason I just saw them and I just took
Unleashed.
a flying leap and landed on all of them.
Uh-huh.
Knocked them into the street. They all got up, took a flying leap on me and knocked me into the building, broke my shoulder and broke my leg.
Oh my.
But that didn't stop me. I got back up like this and went back after him. And one of our customers came out of the restaurants and took a flying leap on top of those guys again and went right through the Seattle Times and PI newspaper boxes. They used to be on the corners.
Yeah.
Just all into the street. Yeah,
what would you do differently?
What year?
And then I'm driving home and I see him walking down the street and I'm thinking, can I stop? But then I can't move my foot. And I thought I better not.
You better. I'm glad you stopped there.
Oh my God.
So the next day I go to the doctor because it hurts.
You didn't get it checked out that day?
No. I go to the doctor and he says he takes a picture of my shoulder and he can't find my shoulder because it had shattered, I guess.
Oh.
But they mend themselves back together. I said, okay, fine. So I get up to leave and I'm limping. He said, maybe we should take a look at your ankle. I said, I think it'll be fine, but it's squishy in my boot. And he said, takes an x-ray. It's broken in 3 spots.
Your hip?
My ankle.
Your ankle.
The bottom of my leg. And then he says, we have some stuff for the pain. You want some OxyContin or something like that? I said, no, I deserve it. I started this. And he said, you know how many people come in here faking injuries to try and get OxyContin?
Yeah. Oh, that's
What a knucklehead.
Yep. How old were you?
I was old. I was 45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should know better. But
45's not old, Tom.
45 is old. 45, I think the average person lives to be about 85. 45 is middle
You're
age.
in the second quarter when you're 45.
I'm in the last quarter. I'm in the fall. I'm in the winter of my... Woo, that was a good story. Cam, did you get all that? Let's all turn to Taylor and flip her off right now because it's great for social media. Okay, fine. You going to post that,
Amy
Taylor?
loves that. Oh, my God.
Okay.
Bridget, you the audience motivator today?
That's right.
What does that mean?
She has no idea. She's looking like... Okay. Follow Bridget Sleep. You're welcome to chat amongst yourselves during the show. There's no... Just can't yell. Can't be over loud. We ready? Cam? Give me the thumbs up. Good job.
Let's go.
We've all been eating kimchi this morning, so. Welcome to the Hot Stove Society Show on Cairo Radio. We are here at the Hot Stove Kitchens in downtown Seattle in the beautiful Hotel Andra, enjoying a cool morning, cool summertime morning. This
Oh
is
man, it
It's
feels
this to
so
me is
good.
what Seattle summer is.
Mhm.
Cool evenings, cool nights, cool mornings, and then by noon or so the sun pops out. This is what I love about
This
Seattle
is
weather.
it's
Yeah.
true.
You can have the 106s in New York City right now,
Mhm.
so you can have those.
Or France,
Or France.
Yeah.
Yeah. Frankfurt, they said today was going to be 108.
Oh my.
Frankfurt.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bummer.
We are, like I said, coming to you from here. We have a bunch of people enjoying a beginning of a hot breakfast. They're eating brown butter madeleines right now. How are they? Pretty tasty? Aren't they good? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean
Cam
is-
made those.
Who did?
Cam did.
Nice job, Cam. Yeah. Brown butter madeleines right out of the oven, cooked to order. Also, today there's going to be a French ham and cheese crepe. Does it have a little bit of green in there?
A little spinach.
Little spinach in there,
Little
and then it
spinach
has a
and-
delicious creamy mushroom gravy on top and a crispy edged fried egg.
Do the French call it gravy?
The French call it whatever we call it.
Roux.
They would never make what we just made. Well, maybe they would.
They would.
Yeah,
they
they
would.
wouldn't use my Gravy God edition though.
They don't have the.
They
The-
don't have the exotic
bling, right.
mushroom rub to go into the Gravy God gravy. Just saying. You can watch us also on YouTube live as we do this show. I go to TD and Co. and just pop on the. Is that right? Just pop on the YouTube
Yep.
button.
It's actually Tom Douglas and Company.
Okay.
It just gets you there quicker.
Okay. And there's a button on there to the press if you want to watch us live or
Yep.
watch us
Anytime.
during the week anytime you
Sure.
want, right? So upcoming classes here at the Hot Stove. You know, we do corporate gigs here and we also do public classes. A couple of the public classes coming up. Nashville Hot Chicken with Chef Danae McLaughlin on July 18th and a paella party with Sean McFadden on July 22nd. So that's all
Wow.
good. In August, as we've just announced, our Julia Child annual birthday celebration.
Exciting.
Exciting. It's on August 22nd, 5:30 to 8:30. And this isn't a hands-on. This is a demo by me. Friday night, wine flights, wine pairings. Here's some of the things on there. Chanterelle toast with herbs de Provence. You know, summer chanterelles are one of my favorite Northwest mushrooms. Chilled lobster slaw with Savoy cabbage, celery root, pomme de terre soufflés. I don't know who in the kitchen has to make all the pomme de terre soufflés.
You do. You're
No, no,
showing
no,
up,
you
dude.
do.
Yeah.
You
No.
have to make those.
No.
Those are,
Your buddy Terry was
made those,
really
like,
good at it.
I know, but he's not here, so you have to make them.
Oh man.
Duck fried duck, little Prosser Farm tomato salad, marjoram, garlic chives, steak Diane. Wow, this is a good menu.
Beautiful.
This is gonna be some good eating. Salad greens with Comté toast, peaches, and a chocolate roulade. I suspect you'll be making the chocolate roulade.
I will. Yeah. And among other things. Yeah.
That velvet tone you're hearing is Chef Bridget Charters.
Hi there.
She's in our co-host seat today. Phew, lots going on
Lots
here.
going
Lots
on.
going on. On today's show, in honor of Bastille Day, you know, this Terry would always do the block party down at Luke.
Man, that was
And
so much fun.
It was so much fun. He just loved every second of it.
Right.
Lots of sausages, chicken.
Music,
He did his Dijon barbecue chicken.
dancing in the
So,
streets.
Yeah, they're going to miss him down there. We miss him every day, of course. But we have him in a nice spot. He's kind of overlooking our. If you look behind us
Yeah, we
on
look at
camera,
him.
you'll see Terry's on our top shelf or so. We dig into the world of fried chicken. Suhoon Lee is here. He's chef owner of Omni Korean Kitchen and Bar. Is it Omni or Omni? Omni. I thought it was ONMI. Right?
Oh, me.
Oh yeah. So it's just a little bit different on my sheet here.
Sorry
Anyways,
about that.
kitchen Korean cuisine and barbecue. He's going to share his take on flavor, fire, fermentation. He brought us a little kimchi and a rice drink, which I can't wait to try. Liza Ward's here from Chef Shop. She's a frequent contributor. She's bringing a taste of something. I have no idea what.
Washington cherries.
Ah.
Cherries.
I just picked two whole totes.
Oh, you were in Prosser.
Prosser, yeah.
Where are they?
Nice.
They're in my car. We're going to send Cam down for him when he has
Okay,
a little
perfect.
break.
Good.
But
I'm
we'll
gonna take
pass some
some.
out and everyone. Yeah, these are van cherries. Our friends at Chinook Winery have Vans, Bings, Rainiers. The birds got our Rainiers. They literally cleaned
This year?
literally every cherry on the tree overnight, one night. Every
no
cherry.
way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy. I'm going to take a trip to Provence. You know, my friend Steven Steinbach, who taught me how to cook,
Mhm.
loved making bouillabaisse, or fish stew is what he would call it, because just a simple little summertime delicious.
Mhm.
Actually, it's good anytime. It's just like a poor man's fisherman's stew is what they
Yes.
kind of call it.
Yes.
So Zane and Duke Dunham of Nowhere Foods introduced their non-alcoholic terroir craft beverages. And of course, we're going to finish with Food for Thought Tasty Trivia. And, you know, Bridget, when I see you in the co-host seat weekly, I know I'm going to win.
Right now, right now. You always thought you were going to lose, but now
Well, you're pretty feisty.
I know, but Becky's very crafty.
I'm just trying to lay the groundwork for a choke here because you always kick butt. Okay, Becky.
Yes.
It's time
week.
for our taste of the week. I don't think we've included you in this enough.
Oh.
And so now I see your mind working.
You,
You have
can see the
you have
gerbil
a
on the wheel.
minute until Bridget's done
Okay,
with hers.
wonderful.
Taste of the week.
I know this is a new segment for you. Probably
No, not at all. I had a few different ideas. I keep coming back to the salmon because the sockeye, the price of sockeye just dropped.
yeah, $14.98. I saw a wild salmon fish market.
Yeah, and it's the same price I think at Town and Country Market. So we got a so if you get a whole sockeye, just buy a whole sockeye. Don't mess around with the fillets because it's always all the tail pieces at the store. And so they had a
You
couple
do
of
have
nice
your choice. You just have to be smart enough to not to get the tail pieces.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway, they had a couple of beautiful little sockeye, and he's like, "Do you want me to fillet?" And I go, "No, I got it." So I took it home, and it was a pound and 3/4 was this little sockeye. So I filleted it like the natives do, where they take out the spine and the belly bones and opened it up, and then we slow cooked that on a mesquite grill
Uh-huh.
and made a fennel salad with tomatoes.
So when you have extra, like you did the whole fish, and there's only what, 2 of you at home or 3 of you right now?
Yeah.
What do you do with the extras? Do you make like a tuna salad, but a salmon salad? Or do you ever do that?
We usually do like a salmon salad. This is what Becky wants to talk about. Otherwise, I love making rillettes with it.
Oh, rillettes.
French
And what
rillettes.
fat do you use to mix butter?
Butter. And then you can just, lots of salmon and then butter and it, whip it up and
Just
chuck
makes
it
a
in the
pate
fridge.
of sorts. Yeah. Mhm.
And then it's just in a ramekin in the fridge.
Okay, well, we had a really special weekend this weekend with 8 girlfriends, and
It seems to me on Thursdays we find out you have a special weekend every weekend.
this one's pretty big coming up too.
Okay, yeah.
But they made beautiful salmon, and my sister with her pesto on half of it, your salmon rub on the other,
Mhm.
and then a beautiful salad, roasted vegetables. But the best part, dinner was great. None of us could eat dessert, so we saved my friends.
What do you mean you couldn't eat? Oh, because
we,
had eggs
we were
in it?
stuffed.
Oh, you
No, we were
Okay.
stuffed. And so she had made
Wait, isn't it like a birthday cake or something?
it was a huckleberry pie, the huckleberries she picked last year.
No way.
And we decided to save it for breakfast. So we had
Uh-huh.
it Sunday morning with ice cream. And it was
coffee.
wonderful. And coffee. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my taste of the week is the huckleberry pie.
Wow, huckleberry pie. That's
It
decadent.
took her hours to
That's
pick
decadent.
those. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to fight the bears off for those.
She ran into a bear last year up
Yeah.
the pass. Yeah, it's true.
We used to have a guy come to the back door, Warren Webster, and he always came in he was older gentleman. I can't imagine he's with us anymore, but he would be probably 100 if he was. But he was an older gentleman, came in with Budweiser flats. Remember when the beer used to come in those cardboard flats?
Yeah.
He put paper towels in the bottom, go pick them. And he'd come and his hands were stained purple
It's
to the
awesome.
back door.
Uh-huh.
And I would usually buy 3 or 4 gallons. Each flat was a gallon. And I said, "How's it going out there, Warren?" He says, "The bears are thick out there today." Every time, same thing. The bears are
Same
thick
joke.
out there today. I don't think he was joking.
Oh, okay.
He looked like he could wrestle a bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
My
Huckleberry.
taste of the week is spot prawns.
Ooh,
They're still
lucky you.
around.
Yeah.
I don't
There's
know
going
how
to be an
long.
opening on July 17th.
They were live at the fish market when I got them the other day.
Oh, sweet.
And I like to do mine Chinatown style.
What's
So,
that?
so I take the spot prawns and I dredge them heavily in cornstarch,
Head off or head on?
head on.
Okay.
But if you're not alive, you have to do head off because the enzymes from the body
Break
start to
down the
break down the
meat.
tail
Yeah.
meat. Yeah. Anyway, so fresh live out of the tank,
Mm.
dredged with cornstarch, deep fried, and I get my wok nice and hot, and I have chopped jalapenos, chopped garlic,
Ginger.
and then flakes,
Oh.
salt, and black pepper.
Ooh.
little bit of oil,
Uh-huh.
because they're coming out of the fryer, so they have oil on them. So they're kind of twice cooked, right?
Mhm.
Then you hot sear them in my wok, and I have a commercial stove at home, so I
Yeah.
can get 30.
And
5
you do
to
the
40.
move. You do the flip.
Oh,
that you're
yeah.
just. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you hot stir 'em, salt and pepper spot prawns.
Mm.
Yum.
I'm
Shell and
telling you
all.
what.
Shell and all.
You know, you do that with crab. You can do that with lobster. You can do that with spot prawns.
If
It's just a simple technique, but the real key is, and I found this out by sitting by the door of a Chinese restaurant, looking in the kitchen to see what they were doing, and they were whacking a live crab and then dredging it in cornstarch and deep frying it, and then into the wok. I think
Oh, I
sometimes-
thought they would do that in the wok.
Some people
Got
want to
it.
just pop that into the wok, but no, that's the trick.
That sounds delicious.
is
That
delicious.
reminds me of that place Crustacean down in San Francisco. They used to do that with the Dungeness crab,
Uh-huh.
and they would serve it with garlic noodles.
Yeah.
Oh,
Why not?
man,
How
delicious.
good does that sound?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
Becky?
Sounds
I
delicious.
can't wait. All right, when we come back, it's time for summer fruit clafoutis. Speaking of Chef Terry, his
Mhm.
very favorite dessert.
I know. That's why I'm doing it.
Why?
Because of Terry. And he loved clafouti.
No, his birthday's in September.
Whatever. Mine is too.
Bastille Day celebration.
Oh, Bastille Day. There you
Yes.
go. On Cairo Radio, it's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM.
Sorry about the Pomni.
No problem. That's such a Caucasian thing to do. We will see. All right, you ready?
I am ready.
We're back here in the kitchen at the Hot Stove Society in these beautiful kitchen studios. If you've never joined us before, it's good fun. Come by, say hi. Sometimes Bridget's teaching in class, sometimes I'm teaching a class, and we have several other presenters here at the Hot Stove. I'll be doing Julia's birthday,
Right.
and this segment now reminds me of her birthday and of Chef Terry, because clafouti and cherry season was his favorite dessert of the year.
Well,
he was a
and
pit in. Are you a pit in or a pit out?
I'm a pit in.
You're a pit in?
Yeah.
Because you got to warn your guest.
Right. But I mean, when we're doing it for guests, we pull the pit.
Yeah.
don't want
Tell us
those-
what clafouti is.
So clafouti. So the French in summer, any European, they deal with the seasons. They don't ship stuff from Peru. They deal with the seasons. And if that's cherries are in season, that's what they're eating.
Right.
They're having them those cherries in bowls of water with ice piled on top. They're having the cherries in tarts. They're having the cherries in ice cream. They're having the cherry,
Everything.
they eat it and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Like you say.
Yeah.
Eat with the season. So anyway.
Last night I went into one of my restaurants and there were Brussels sprouts on the menu.
Oh, ouch.
What'd you do?
I stormed out of there. No, I sat there and wrote an email right then and there to the entire chef team.
And said,
We'll leave that for
Okay.
some other day. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, go back to clafouti.
just okay. So anyway, those summer fruits, it's tough. So Eliza's coming on later to tell us about cherries. And I was reading this whole article about the Washington cherries, and they're all freaking out about immigration and the fact that they can't get enough pickers because those cherries have a very short window that they're picked.
Yeah.
So same in France, you pick them and boy, they're going to go fast. So the great way to use them, and that's what I'm doing in my class, is this concept of making a custard and you can make a number of different things with that custard.
Uh-huh.
And so that's what clafouti is. And it's essentially a custard. It's a custard tart, but there's no crust.
I look at the menu or the recipe for clafoutis, and it reminds me of a crepe batter. It's
Yeah.
just like an
Mhm.
entire, just a little bit thinner or thicker, as you however you want to look at it, crepe batter.
Essentially, yeah. And so when you go to culinary school, you learn about those batters
Uh-huh.
and the ratio. So if is it a creme brulee? Is it a flan? Is it crepe batter? Is it a custard for a fruit tart?
Uh-huh.
And so then the amount of flour, Dutch babies,
It's
that kind of
essentially
thing.
the same thing.
It's essentially the same
Flour,
thing. The
eggs,
ratio,
milk.
correct.
Yeah.
Flour, eggs, milk, touch of sugar, and then maybe some kind of sweetener. So on a clafouti, it's exactly that, except the flour content's a little bit higher, because then when you fill the dish with fruit and then you pour the custard over it.
Uh-huh.
And then
some
it
fruit
bakes.
has more juice, right, than other fruit, so you need a little bit higher flour content.
Right. And they
Yeah.
don't, in Europe, they don't measure.
So I just read something a little bit. I did a clafouti maybe 3 weeks ago, and I read the recipe, and it said to take the dish and put it on a stovetop for a minute or two to develop a crust before you put the fruit in. And I'd never heard of that. I've made it many times. I tried it. I didn't notice the difference because I can't eat it. But is that
That's
true?
just, yeah, no. I mean, I've always seen it where you just heavily
Okay.
butter the dish
Uh-huh.
and then put the fruit in and then pour the custard over the top.
Well, and I like the idea because I had cherries and I very prettily filled it. And I
Oh,
wanted them
so it
to
would
stay
set.
where they were. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's
I-
just a technique, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
some people like to leave the pits in their cherries
Yeah.
because they feel like it gives a little almond flavoring.
Yeah.
My suggestion is use a little almond flavoring.
Exactly.
Take the
Right.
pits out.
Right.
If
Right.
that's what you're looking for. The other way to do that is like I watch David Leibovitz
Mhm.
online, and
He's great.
he's
Yeah.
got great stories. Used to be chef over at Chez Panisse and has been in Paris for 20 years, I bet, maybe
Mhm.
longer. We've had him on this show 25 years ago.
Oh,
I
you
want to say,
did?
yeah,
That's
with his
great.
book. Yeah.
But he's got a great
My
blog
Paris
on
Kitchen. Yeah.
on
A
Substack.
Substack. Yep. You sent me some cookie recipes.
So his recipe for clafouti is 1 1/4 pounds of sweet cherries. And we're going to talk cherries today, but think like you could use plums, you can use peaches. Think about
Apricots.
right?
Yeah.
3 large eggs, a half a cup of flour. I'm surprised it wasn't a little
Mhm.
bit more to 3 large eggs, some vanilla, some almond extract, some sugar, and then 1 1/3 cups of whole milk, which to me, he says whole or low fat. You're making dessert, for God's sake. Use whole milk.
Cream or cream.
Cream will, I think, make it too heavy.
Okay.
If
And
I'm-
it gets kind of greasy.
yeah. And then soften butter for the dish because you want it to come out. You don't want to have to scrape away at it, but then just bake it. Bake
Yeah.
that sucker.
It's amazing. And so
Terry, Mr. Fancy Chef. I mean, the desserts don't come much simpler than this.
no.
It was his favorite.
Right. And it's amazing because when you're in France, it's a country dish. It's not a fancy
Right.
restaurant dish. It's a country dish, and you're utilizing what you've got available there coming off the tree. But then also you've got the eggs in the yard, you've got a dairy farm nearby. It's a quick, easy dessert. But that same custard and that fruit can also go into a tart shell.
Yeah.
Which is very classic. And that's kind of part of the class that I'm doing.
So you're doing a class on Saturday, July 12th, and it's called French Pastry Series, Summer Fruit Clafouti and Custard Tarts.
Yeah. And so people are going to make both doughs.
Okay.
They're going to make a pâte brisée and a pâte sucrée. They're going to take both of those doughs home, but they're also going to use some of that dough to make a tart based on a clafouti. I'm going to
Uh-huh.
make clafouti, but then they're going to make their own custard. We're going to have fruit. Hopefully we'll have some stuff from the farm.
I got a tote in my car.
Well,
Might not be around for next week. though.
exactly.
Yeah. What's pot sucré?
Pâte sucrée is pâte, the pâté. Sucré
Which is what they
the
call
sh-
dough, right? Pâté.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's the short dough. Pâte sucrée is the sugar dough. So it's essentially sugar cookie dough
Uh-huh.
that the French use for crusts for pies and tarts.
Because
Not
it comes
pies,
out really
but-
crisp.
Mm-hmm.
and it's very crisp, and it's a short dough, meaning the strands of flour and butter have been shortened. You've blended in a food processor and taken away the stretchiness of the dough. It's more tender, like a cookie, and that's the basis for the dough versus a pâte brisée. And a pâte brisée is what they use for actual pâtés or for tarts, things like that. And that's savory, more savory in flavor. And that's that flaky pie dough.
And you just don't whip it up as much, or how do you get that?
The first dough, the sucré, is very tender and it's kind of breakable, whereas the second one has structure and layers, almost like a puff pastry. And so you get that buttery, flaky dough. So people are going to learn the difference between those two doughs. They're going to actually make those two doughs, and then we're going to make some tarts, and they're going to go home with a full fruit tart.
And the knowledge.
Correct.
Yes.
But those custards are amazing. When I was in culinary school, we had a couple of pastry chefs, and that was like one of the first things we learned was to make that custard. And it's amazing because you can use it for so many things, and you don't need a recipe, you don't need a measure.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
It's baking.
Yeah, but it's also these aren't experienced folks that we're talking to. You follow a recipe. When you've got it perfected 3 times, when you've got it memorized and it works.
Have you seen my book and the breadcrumb
Have you seen my book
recipe?
where it says always follow the author's recipe at least the first time and then make your adjustments?
Yeah.
But
Don't go
Tom,
clandestine
you're
like you're some sort of Secret Service member.
no, but you need to be. Come on, your grandmother didn't.
My grandmother never made clafouté. You're in the wrong country.
Oh my! I know
She was
it's
from
obvious.
Sweden.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah, whatever.
Like when I worked over in Italy, they were like, "What measuring cups? What measuring
Lordy.
spoons?"
Yeah.
They didn't have it. It didn't exist, man. They like handed me a drinking glass out of the cupboard.
I
and they
want
go,
you
"Here's
just
your
to take
cup."
a second out of your day and look around where you are. Let's just look at all like Italy.
Lots of measuring cups.
Lots of measuring cups.
People need to relax about their cooking.
Well,
Well, you
then give
don't
them
be
some
so uptight.
marijuana.
You're
Give them some
making-
marijuana. and
Yeah,
just
you're making
step
people
away.
uptight, Tom.
Yeah. Oh, Lordy.
Would you have said this 10 years ago?
Yeah.
No, she was.
100%.
When I met you, you were pretty rule oriented.
She's a chef instructor,
Yeah.
culinary instructor.
Come on. When you met me 10 years ago, I was trying to teach you guys
When you were
technical
teaching-
French stuff.
You taught for
that was-
20 years at the Art Institute, culinary.
And we
How many
taught
times did you bake without a cup and a measuring spoon?
many
You're
times.
lying.
I didn't teach baking.
Oh, that's well, there you go.
That's funny.
That's good. Suhoon is here. We're
That's
going to
great.
just see if they measure in Korea or not. In North Seattle,
I
Korea.
bet he's going to say no.
I bet he's going to say no. I bet he's going to say yes. Because he wants every dish to come out the same way at his
Uh-oh.
restaurant.
He's like going, uh-oh. Just agree with Tom. Agree with Tom.
When we come
Whatever.
back, chef owner Suhoon of Onmi Restaurant, which is where the old Outback Steakhouse used to be, about 130th and Aurora. It's
I've
a
been.
cute little spot, delicious. Looking forward to chatting with him on Cairo Radio. It's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM.
It's Saturday, and I think...
So how many people in here don't use measuring cups or spoons or anything when they cook at home?
Raise your hand.
One person. He's a maybe.
Sort
One
of.
person.
Come
and how many
on.
times have you made the recipe that you do that? Many times, right?
Americans are uptight.
Yeah, many times. Many times. All right, Cam's going to get your microphone set up for you.
It is...
You have to be
Oh, okay.
you have to be uncomfortably close.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Because listen to me
Uh.
and listen to me. You hear the
Okay,
difference?
yes, yes.
Yeah. So when you're listening in the radio while you're driving, they have to hear you.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Don't be shy.
Yeah.
Just like yell at Tom.
Okay.
I've never seen anyone do that before.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
So, Keisha, how's your crepe?
4:30.
So I like my fried eggs with the white cooked, but I also like that crispy edge around it. So they work hard to get that edge. In case you think it's
230.
burnt, it's not. That's an intentional crispy edge. And then the mushroom
230.
gravy has my magical mushroom rub as a gravy helper.
We got the kimchi.
Looking handsome on that TV up there.
Oh, the kimchi. Yeah. Scrambled eggs and kimchi.
Oh yes. Oh no.
Yum.
Just so you know, the kimchi looks hotter than it is. It will build.
Oh, thank you.
Ooh. That's good. Hear what ails you.
All right. Welcome back. It's the Hot Stove Society show. We are busy here putting Bridget in her place.
Whatever, Tom.
Whatever, Tom. Suhon Lee is here. He's the chef owner of Onmi Korean Cuisine and Barbecue in North Seattle, 13231 Aurora Avenue North. My Asian grocer, I go to Wajimaya and I go to the Asian Family Market right across from, it's right across
Onmi?
from you, right
Yes.
at 130th
Yes.
there. So it's about the only place right now you can get the Loganma spicy chili crisps because it's sold out everywhere.
Oh, wow.
People
It
listen
is?
to our show.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm struggling finding it. So,
Huh.
anyways, Suhon, am I saying that correctly?
Yes.
We had a delightful supper at your restaurant, Jackie and I, not too long ago, and you were so busy you couldn't see straight.
Oh
Hopefully, it's continued.
yeah.
Has it?
Yes.
Good.
Yes. It's actually it's getting better, and then we haven't done like PR, and then but customers like realizing, and I've been having a lot of restaurant introducing. So a lot of my fellow chefs previously job, they've been PRing for me in social media. So we've been having a lot of like reservation rising,
Oh, good.
especially on the weekends.
Yeah, I bet.
Yes.
Well, how did you get started? What's your story?
So I never had a plan to open a restaurant.
Me neither.
So my plan was actually going to East Side, like more bigger city, like New York City, like Chicago. But all of our families in Seattle, and then my mom was really pushing me to open a restaurant, saying
Because why? Were you a good cook or?
oh yeah, because we've been always doing it all our life, and anywhere that I worked was non-Korean, so it was like French restaurant,
Uh-huh.
a Japanese restaurant, and all the fellow chefs would ask me, "Can you recommend me any good Korean restaurant?" And then like I was like, "Just come to my house, and then I'll cook it for them." So and then my mom was like, "Hey, I think this is a good opportunity. Like try in Seattle," and then that's how we
That's how you got started, huh?
yes we did.
And was she a good cook? Is she a restaurant cook?
Oh yes, she has actually inspired me to cook.
Uh-huh.
So I learned a lot like Korean cuisine, and then especially from my grandma, which is my mother,
Uh-huh.
and then that's how I got involved in this restaurant.
So it's the Korean culture, kind of like Thai and Vietnamese, where the women kind of ran the kitchen, whereas in America it used to be very male dominated. Now it's fully integrated in both sexes. But it always struck me how many times I went to a Vietnamese restaurant, there were women kind of running the kitchen. It just seemed like that's just the way it
Yeah,
was.
in Korea it's like I think it's like 50-50.
Okay.
Yeah, long time ago in the history, like was more women.
Uh-huh.
But around my era, like I've seen more like males actually
Sure.
in the kitchen.
If you have you been to Korean barbecue, Bridget?
I have. My cousins took me there, and I had thought that many of the Korean restaurants were kind of north, up toward on the way up to
Yeah,
Linwood.
it's
and-
like Little Korea up there.
right,
yeah.
right. And they were like, no, it's right by our house because they're on 130th and Greenwood.
Right.
And we had a delicious meal.
Yeah. Tell us about the culture of barbecue at the table. Is that always the case?
I think so. Like that's how I've been like growing up eating, and then it's like everything like.
But at
on the
home,
table.
you don't have a hood. At the restaurants, you have a hood that goes right over your table.
Yeah, we just have like a little fan on,
Yeah, little
and then
fans,
like
yeah.
little stove, and like we have like a little mini fans. And,
But
like,
family dinner is just all those small plates all at the table all at once,
The
right?
banchan.
always,
Banchan.
the
Always, every meal, correct?
every meal. Yes.
And what are all the elements in a banchan?
So like kimchi is a must.
Uh-huh.
So kimchi is a must. We personally like every city in Korea is different, like what they eat. So like our city is more like mountain vegetables. So we can't get it in the U.S. So we would ask our family member that's in Korea to dehydrate it and then send it to us, and we can
Oh.
just hydrate right away, and then we'll cook it, and then we'll cool it off and make it as a banchan.
Uh-huh.
So
Oh,
it's
no
like
kidding.
a must. Yes.
And then do you use Northwest ingredients to make your kind of mountain banchan?
Also the banchan, I tried.
Mushrooms.
Yeah,
and
mushroom.
greens.
I'm waiting to use like chantel mushrooms and morel mushroom on bibimbap. For now, I still have leftover of what my grandma sent from the mountain.
Oh,
So I still have a case left. So that's fully dried. And then, like I said, I hydrated, but I hydrated with oxtail, like half
Oh.
oxtail and half veggie stock.
Uh-huh.
And then I play with it, put some minced garlic, salt, and people love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
And-
wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds
and-
delicious.
And are all your different banchan, all those things at the table, like the kimchi's always the same, but
Yeah.
is it seasonal? Are you guys very seasonal in terms of?
kim-
Well, I mean, not
this
the
is his
same.
grandmother's recipe that he brought us.
No,
here.
it's
Kimchi's
beautiful.
not
I mean,
all the same.
there's daikon, there's different vegetables for that, but I mean, in terms of what you're serving at the table at that time, is
So-
it seasonal?
So yeah, so I mean the kimchi like every like months a week the flavor changes. So when so in my restaurant on the left side we have a regular cuisine, and the right side is barbecue area. And if customer is ordering a barbecue, we typically give 3 to 5 day old kimchi because it's more like salad style.
Mhm.
They it can go well with the ribeye, New York steak, pork belly. And on the left side cuisine, we try to go. So the one that we have is 5 days old. It's 5 day fermented. So it's like salad, but it's getting there. So it should normally
Oh,
take
interesting.
week or two to actually kind of taste that more sourness. So on the left side of the cuisine, we typically give about 2 weeks old kimchi. So we can kind of, because on the left side cuisine, there's a lot of broths related.
Uh-huh.
It's really good, like having a like broth and a sour, tangy taste kimchi.
Oh,
And then on another note, on the barbecue section, we have a pork belly. If you order a pork belly, we give out 2 months old kimchi. So it's actually sour, and you grill it with the pork belly fat.
Ah,
Wow.
So customers been really loving
I
that.
bet
wow,
they have.
this is taking it to a new level.
Well, just so that you we're clear, because I don't know that we understood or told what banchan is. When you order a Korean barbecue, you get a little array of small dishes of different vegetables. Sometimes egg salad, sometimes potato salad,
Yes.
seaweed. Could be anything
Yes.
that you guys decide to send out. But it's usually what 6 to 8 dishes.
Yeah, 6 to 8. Yes.
Yeah.
And everything's in-house made?
Everything's in the house made. Sauce is in the house made, and obviously the recipe is my grandma and my mother's recipe. And sometimes I play with it. So,
Tell us about the kimchi that you brought and why it's your secret grandmother's recipe. What makes hers different?
Well,
Nobody's listening, so you can tell us the secret.
the kimchi is actually really famous because the Gangwon-do city where I was born, that's where my grandma and my grandpa's hometown is. And the city is mountain and sea, and they have their special, like, because the temperature where the cabbage grows, and then what kind of gochugaru we use, and what kind of shrimp paste we use. And then yeah, she's been winning a lot of awards, and it's been really like a famous kimchi.
Oh.
And then
And I found it unusual that the cabbage you have in there's like quarter heads of cabbage, like a big
Yes.
wedge of cabbage.
it is, yes,
That's nice.
yes.
I like that because when you cut it, it's still, you end up with the leafy part that's kind of broken down, but you still have a nice crunch.
The crunch, right.
in the stem part.
Well, and you mentioned the salad kimchi. Like,
Well,
I
there's
had
the
no
white
idea.
kimchi.
White kimchi.
Well, when we had the woman, what was the book that we did the 4-part series on?
Uma.
Uma.
Uma, yes.
She said that the white kimchi is much more popular in Korea than it is around here.
Oh, white kimchi is popular in summer for sure.
Summertime, yeah.
Summertime, yes.
Yeah.
But can we go back to the barbecue experience? What makes it unique at Onmi?
So we prioritize USD prime meat, such as ribeye, New York steak, filet mignon, and the pork bellies come from Idaho. I believe it's same pork belly that used in Ascend Prime in Bellevue.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Huh. And then do you do any, is it all meats or do you have seafood?
The seafood, I am gonna try work on that on the winter menu. But so far, seafood that we have is seafood tofu soup, seafood pancake. But talk about salmon, I'm trying to work on a salmon menu too. I'm trying to work on a like gochujang braised salmon.
Oh, delicious.
Yes.
What's one dish that never gets ordered that you wish people would try?
One.
Because, we all go for the barbecue or this or that, right? But
Yes, the one that I tried, I only did a 1 week special, and I only sold 3 surprisingly. Is stuffed chicken. So you get the whole chicken, and then you cut in half, and then we put Carlos rice, we put dates, we put mushroom, and then we wrap it and we boil it for 30 minutes. But
Wow.
I guess
sounds
the
interesting.
weather's getting too hot. Yes.
I don't know. I just think people probably
People
scare
just don't know.
Yeah, people don't know. Yeah.
And that was a chef special. So you always have chef specials.
Oh, chef's special. Yes.
Cool.
And tell us
Very-
about this fermented rice drink we're drinking, enjoying.
Oh, so the fermented rice drink. This one I've been growing. This is my childhood drink, and it's everybody's childhood drink in Korea. So this is actually made with barley wheat flour. So you soak the barley wheat flour and you cook the Carlos rice, and you add the barley flour in the rice cooker for over 12 hours, and so that way the rice stays fluffy in a warm temperature, and then you pour that back in the 12-quart pot, and then you boil it, and then you cool it off with some sugar.
Yeah, there's a lot of sugar in there.
Yes.
It reminds me a little bit of horchata, the Mexican.
Yes,
Yes.
that's what I think as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's delicious,
Korean
yeah.
horchata. Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. We're going to ask you to stay for a few minutes on the next segment, if that works.
Yes.
Since we want to dive into fried chicken. And of course, the hottest fried chicken in the world right now is Korean fried chicken.
Yeah.
Maybe you know
That's what I
something
heard,
about that. Soo-Hoon Lee is the chef owner of On Me Korean Cuisine and Barbecue at 130th and Aurora. So check him out, and we'll be right back here at the Hot Stove on Cairo Radio 97.3 FM.
Right. You know something about fried chicken.
Oh yeah, we have the fried chicken is best selling in the menu.
Okay,
Surprisingly.
we'll save it for radio.
Yeah.
Oh. Yum.
It's not spicy. Oh, it's not. Oh.
I mean, it is, but.
Yeah.
So this is 2 week old?
Was that?
2 week old?
How's your kimchi?
5 week. Yum.
Does it go with the crepe pancake?
No.
Not really. Can you order different kimchi at your restaurant?
So we have 1 week old, 2 weeks old, 3 weeks old, 2 months old kimchi. And we've been having customers buying it a lot. Really like for that jar.
Oh, really cool.
My-
I know.
On my kitchen
So
counter.
is it
Oh,
time?
there's some over there.
Is it time?
It's a little salty, I find. So I would probably a little less
Less.
salt next time, but you have to have enough that it preserves it. So,
Right.
Are you doing it at home too?
Yeah, I have half my batch at home and half my batch here.
Oh, okay.
We should do a miso segment at some point.
Yeah.
We should use it for our miso soup. Because we add salt to the miso soup.
Yeah,
but
for
if
sure.
We just had.
Yeah, we just it should be ready to do that. And we should all have a cup first so that we don't kill our customers.
Guinea pigs.
Walk, 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 walk. Time for fried chicken here at the Hot Stove Society
know.
Show on Cairo Radio.
Well done.
I even got a giggle out of you.
I did.
She's a hard one. I'm Tom Douglas.
And I'm Bridget Charters.
And Soo-Hoon Lee, chef owner of On Me Korean Kitchen and Barbecue, has stayed with us for a few minutes to talk about fried chicken with us. Because
God,
when I
so
think
good.
of things fried chicken these days, I have my favorite fast food fried chicken, which
Oh,
is
we
the
know.
KFC.
Uh-huh.
I tried it against.
Not Ezel's?
No. I like it fine, but I like KFC the best. I'm not sure what. That's my favorite, I think I just said. But I did try it recently against Popeyes.
Oh,
No contest.
no contest.
No contest. Just saying.
KFC. Okay.
Just saying. When you travel I-90 back and forth across to the farm and back,
Oh,
You
got
get
it.
hungry.
You get hungry
Okay.
and-
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
sometimes. And I have a good story to tell about that too. My favorite fried chicken story is I was driving across for my father-in-law's 70th birthday in Spokane, got over the pass right around Roslyn. We spun out and rolled the Volvo station wagon that we were driving
Ooh.
with Loretta in her car seat in the back.
Oh my goodness.
And the car just slowly rolled over, landed on its four tires. And a couple of cars were nice enough to stop to help out.
Uh-huh.
And I said, well, if you wouldn't mind, if you could just take care of my wife and daughter, I'll wait for the state patrol here. And blah, blah, blah. Oh, no, we have to get you to a hospital. And I said, I'm fine. I'm fine. He said, oh, no, you're delirious. We have to get you to a hospital. And I said, I feel great. He said, well, you're bleeding from the head. So I put my hand up and I touched my forehead and I looked at it. I tasted it. And it was the chicken nugget sauce from Loretta's fried chicken nuggets.
Oh, that's funny.
So that was my
Fried chicken story.
that's my fried chicken story.
That is
Okay.
pretty funny.
We're gonna get serious here about fried chicken.
Let's do it.
Soo-Hoon, tell us about Korean fried chicken. You said it sells really good in your restaurant too, right?
Yes, I always thought that like KFC stands for Korean Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Seriously?
It's-
Well,
Yeah,
it's
they're
huge,
so-
it's
that's
huge
awesome.
over
It's
there,
huge
right?
in
in Seoul?
Japan. And
yes,
Yeah.
everybody in US was telling me it was Kentucky Fried Chicken. Like I thought it was Korean Fried Chicken. Like,
Yeah.
like it's such a popular dish in Korea right now.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yes, and I actually had no plans to have Korean Fried Chicken in the menu, but
I know because you're a chef and you think that's. I don't want to say
Yes.
beneath you, but it's like it's everyday food instead of you're a little bit.
yes,
Yeah.
but my servers keeps telling me that customer was like, do you guys have Korean Fried Chicken like as an appetizer, even like diners or barbecue diners? So I was like, okay, we'll give it a shot. And then my best selling menu was actually soy sauce crab,
Ooh.
but the Korean Fried Chicken is top
Next
selling
to
right
that.
now in the
Top
menu.
selling.
What is the difference between Korean fried chicken and like a Southern fried chicken? What's the difference?
Like a KFC.
Okay.
The other KFC.
The other KFC. I think the difference is the how much like a layer and the crispy the Korean fried chicken is like double fried and the sauce. I think the sauce is making it really really difference. Like 'cause we really focus on fermenting, obviously, like fermenting the sauce. So we use a lot of apples, pears,
Mm.
orange, and ketchup.
Oh,
and with gochujang, obviously.
wait a minute. But that's the sauce to serve with it.
Serve with it.
But do you marinate the chicken?
I do not. I just do 4-hour brine chicken.
Oh,
Literally 4-hour brine.
What's your brine? That's what she's like. Is it soy? Are you not telling
No.
us? Is it secret?
Oh no, just
salt and water.
Salt and water, black pepper,
It looks like there's
Bay
a
leaves.
secret. Okay.
and 2 more.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Because mine is soy sauce, fresh ginger, scallions, and I think mine's more typical Japanese, maybe.
Yes, the Japanese. Yeah.
And then what's your breading?
Oh, my breading is just wet bread. Just
Oh,
straight up wet, and then I make a so in like Japanese like tempura, like the shrimp, the wet bread, like where you make the curves and
so
then let
flour,
the flowers. Yeah.
Cornstarch.
club soda,
Cornstarch, yeah.
cornstarch.
No
Yeah.
eggs.
No,
No eggs.
0.
Eggs make it fluffy. Eggs,
Oh, okay.
In my mind, I don't like eggs in my fried chicken batter. And of course, Southern fried chicken generally is buttermilk or
Right.
some sort of vinegar kind of brine
Yes.
before you cook it or before you bread it. Also, when you
Right.
double fry, are you taking like right out of the fryer and then dredging again and then frying again?
Oh no, I just
No.
let it rest for 1 minute,
Okay.
and then I just drop it back.
Okay. No more dredge. Just
Oh.
No more
Because I
dredge.
think when you look at like a KFC style American Southern fried chicken, it's often double dredged. So they'll
Right.
dredge it,
Put it in the fridge.
put it in the fridge, dip it again in buttermilk, and dredge it again. So it has this really thick. This is why it's so unhealthy, honestly, and it's why it tastes like the deep fryer
Right.
because it just picks up so much fat and so much
Right.
stuff out of the deep
Right.
fryer. So,
Right.
but it's crunchy, which
It
we
is
love
good.
crunchy.
It's delicious.
Mhm.
I like the buttermilk. I like the Southern with the buttermilk, but we use Frank's Red Hot, and it's
Which is traditionally in buffalo chicken wings, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's or Crystal. We'll use
Yeah.
Crystal too, and it's an entire bottle of hot sauce.
So when are you doing that into the brine?
It's brined that way
Yeah.
with salt
Yeah, I agree.
and buttermilk, and 2-3 days, and it gets
2 or 3
smoking.
days.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's smoking hot.
and it doesn't dry out your chicken breast pieces.
Uh-uh.
Surprised
No, and
by
then because the buttermilk's in there,
Mhm.
and then you dredge it the day before
With
you want
what?
to fry it. Well, on the Southern, usually they use flour,
just AP flour.
just all-purpose flour.
Yeah.
Dredge it, put it on a rack, back into the fridge, and then dredge it with more flour before it goes in the fryer,
and how
rather
popular?
than a double dredge. Sorry.
No, how popular is your fried chicken? The other KFC.
Oh, the fried chicken is probably my whole revenue every day. I think 70%. It takes up
Wow.
70%.
Oh my
Like
God.
to-go orders, and I just recently did DoorDash, and
Crazy.
it's crazy because I can't like get it ready. So per order, it's a fresh chicken, so it takes 13 minutes. So I only have 2 fryers,
Hmm.
so it just
Constant.
Does it
Oh.
make you mad that that's the top seller?
it did.
Yeah.
But as long as the customer loves the food, then it's okay.
I bet it doesn't make you mad when you're paying your rent and you're paying.
Right.
Oh yeah, yeah, this
That works.
the margin obviously is
Yeah.
the best margin.
Yeah,
for sure.
compared to prime beef. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Since the price is going up on the meat right now.
Yeah.
So
That's amazing.
Well, I'm coming for your barbecue, and I'll try some chicken.
and
too.
chicken. Yeah.
One of my favorite fried chickens is Vietnamese style fried chicken.
Okay,
the
and what's
drunken
that?
chicken that you get, say, up at
Okay.
the Eric Bond has at Monsoon.
Oh, right,
Oh, yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right.
And again, that's more soy sauce oriented, and it is lots of ginger, lots of fish sauce
Right.
in the brine,
Uh-huh.
and then he tosses it with shallots and some sort of caramelized fish sauce kind of mixture. Vietnamese call it caramel. I call it Vietnamese caramel sauce. That's one of my favorites.
What about karaage? Does that have fish sauce in it too, or just soy sauce?
Like a
The
chicken
Japanese-
karaage or so? No, that's
Yeah.
just more of a.
Just soy sauce.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's very clean.
Okay.
I think it's just fried with a cornstarch.
Yes.
Cornstarch with rice flour will give you that really nice crispy crust, kind of a
Right.
mixture. That's what we use in our fish and chips down at Mr. Fish.
that
is-
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know.
Cornstarch and rice flour. A little bit of AP, but mostly that.
Right. And then my other favorite fried chicken was remember Bad Albert's down in
Remember,
down
it's
on-
still there.
It's still there down on Ballard Ave. But the gal that was the chef, she was amazing, and she would do the buffalo chicken wings,
Ooh.
and it was just chicken dried and fried in the fryer, and then dumped into a bowl of hot sauce.
Yeah, no breading though.
No
A
bread.
lot of buffalo wings have no breading.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And she always had the thick pieces of chicken, the thick wing parts.
Uh-huh.
That's all she would order,
The drumettes.
the drumettes. And it was like, oh my God, we'd get done with sailing and go there. And we'd go through 6 orders,
Mhm.
the group, And but again, it's that crispy skin and all that nice hot. It'd be good. You could do the kimchi goop on your fried chicken.
Everything's
You
good
could
with
do
kimchi. My favorite is a kimchi pancake.
Oh.
Although I said on the show after I had yours, I like mine a little bit more caramelized, a little bit more brown. That doesn't sound traditional.
No, it can be.
It can be.
It can
Okay,
be. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what I want out of those kind of Vietnamese seafood pancakes or kimchi pancakes. Or,
Where it's got the crispy edge,
yeah.
like your eggs.
The Vietnamese one has coconut milk in it. Does
Yeah,
yours also?
Oh no.
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 Oh no.
No. Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That'd be bad.
All right. I want to thank Soo Hoon Lee, chef owner of Omni Korean Cuisine and Barbecue. It's so hard not to say Omni.
I know. Well, I wrote it.
That's-
Down. I wrote it wrong the first time.
No, I'm just saying it's just hard either way. I've done it
on me.
on me. I guess this one's on me.
This one's on me.
Although when you go there, it's not on him. You have to pay. All right. Thank you so much.
All
Good
right,
luck
thanks
in
so
your
much.
business.
Yeah, that's
Thank you so
awesome.
much.
Up next, in hour number 2, Eliza Ward's going to join us. She's the owner of Chef Shop down on Elliott Avenue. And we are going to talk cherries because it's cherry season. And are there enough pickers out there?
I know.
Because the people I'm talking to are leaving them on the trees this year. So
Yep. It's too
on
bad.
Cover Radio, it's the Hot Stove Society Show 97.3 FM. Boy, there must have been a dearth of Bings out there. For you get 1 Bing and 5. Oh no, there's 3 kinds. What kind is that? A black what? Black pearl. They're beauties. Cam, you want to set up the mic? Sure. All right. Next up for you all, we have a cherry tasting.
No.
Can you guys put out a monkey dish so they have a place to put their pits, please?
Yum.
Yeah.
Sean,
Thanks.
can you hear me? Can I get a monkey dish for each
Drew's
person?
the busser. Drew's the busser.
What's a
on,
monkey
Drew.
dish?
Somebody acknowledge me. Can I get a monkey dish for pits, please?
The little cups
Just
would
say
work.
yes, Tom.
I
We
hear 'em.
chef is fine.
They can use the cups from their little rice
Okay,
thing.
here-
Tom, you're losing your hearing.
I guess so.
Man, these
Oh.
are good.
Called getting old.
Drew's off break, it looks like.
Yum. Ooh, those are kind of tart.
Mm.
No, that's
Can I
okay.
have some more?
I've been. Oh, you want some of mine? I know.
The Rainiers yet.
These are dregs too.
Oh my God, they're so good.
On top of everything else, these are the smaller. Anyway, we'll go into it. We'll get into it.
Delicious.
Wow, they really are
Which ones?
slightly smaller ones. Oh, these guys?
Those to me are kind of flavorless, but they are what they are.
I think the big Rainiers have a nice acid sugar balance to them.
So not all those cherries on your plate are mine.
Really?
No, I went to the grocery store yesterday and bought some cherries so we could compare.
Oh,
So the little ones in the middle,
Mhm.
Those are from Town and Country. I bought the
Oh.
best that they had, just so I could feel good about my cherries.
Which ones are yours?
The bigger ones.
Oh.
The ones in the bowl.
Mm. Yum.
Refreshing.
Mm. I know you have to just get a bag and.
And then regret it in the morning.
Mm.
All right, you ready for hour number 2? We've had a lot of taste already. Let's do this. It's Hot Stove Society Show, hour number 2. Thank you for hanging with us. Hopefully you're in your delightful garden this time of year, picking away.
Or on a walk.
What are you picking right now?
Herbs.
Herbs.
Lots of
Yeah,
herbs.
lots of
Oh
herbs.
man, chive blossoms.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Tom Douglas.
And I'm Chef Bridget Charters.
In the hot seat is Eliza from Chef's Shop down there on Elliott Avenue.
Good morning.
Good morning. You have brought us some beautiful looking cherries today. And you sell cherries by the box, right? You don't sell them by the
We
5
do.
pounds.
We've been selling cherries for 23 years or something
and
like
you've
that.
established relationships with farmers.
We have. We've established some, yes, very long-standing relationships. So we get, you guys are eating cherries right now and comparing 3 different cherries.
Uh-huh.
The first dark one is called a black pearl. So it's a relatively new variety, a very early dark. So that is really an effort to kind of extend the cherry season for the
Put
growers
some
out there.
shoulders on it, we like to say.
Ah.
Yes,
Shoulders
exactly.
On yeah.
Of
because-
course, it comes with a little bit of difficulty because as they wait for the migrant workers to come up from California, it means there's more of an overlap with the California season.
Uh-huh.
So the migrant workers will start heading north, and so it's a little bit tough. But that's what that cherry is, and I think we're going to add it to our lineup. Traditionally, we've had 5 different varieties in our lineup for the season, and I think that's going to become our 6th. It was very well received by our customers.
Well, it's
Oh,
a
nice.
lovely name too, Black Pearl.
It is. It's very dark. It's
It's got
very
Johnny
lovely.
Depp written all over
Right.
it.
And you know, when you talk about the clafouti, it's a great clafouti cherry, I
Cooking
think,
and
because it's beautiful and it's
Stays
got
firm.
kind of well, you don't really. I mean, like a clafouti, the firmness isn't quite. It does stay firm, but not as important because you're cooking it, right? Because it's going to get softer as you
I
cook it.
still like a little bite.
Crunch, yeah.
a little bite.
And it's just got a meatiness to it, which is really nice. And then the next one so just for context, because your audience here has a bunch of cherries in front of them, that black pearl was picked 2 weeks ago.
Okay. So it's got good
Wow.
shelf
So
life.
we're
that's
not doing
good.
any packing this week because of the holiday or because that's just the way it happened.
and
and
it's
so-
hot over there.
They've been waiting for the heat, right? I mean, one of the differences, the challenges of being a cherry farmer, right? You have to have hot weather and sunny weather. You have to have enough water. And so it's not been super hot out there. In fact, they've not had that many hot, sunny days. And so the cherry season was a little bit late this year. So getting that first variety, because it was an
Oh.
early variety, was kind of helped kick off the season for us this year. Normally, we kick off the season with what's called an early robin, which is a very light-skinned Rainier varietal.
Uh-huh.
But we couldn't get those this year. There was a lot of chaos out there this year.
Oh, what's that from, do you suppose?
Yeah, I wonder.
Can't figure it out.
So that's the
You
first
mean
one.
nobody
is-
to pick cherries.
Say again.
I mean, nobody to pick cherries is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or pack them.
They're still
or
having-
sort them or
Yeah,
whatever.
They're
You know,
still
you-
having those issues.
there's a lot of work that goes into
If you're looking for a job, go to Eastern Washington.
Yes.
there's a lot of work that goes into creating the perfect cherry.
we could send our newly graduated college students
And give them
to
some
pick cherries.
in the 100-degree heat. Yeah, exactly.
It was 102
Let's
at our
show 'em
farm
what we're-
yesterday.
show
They
'em what
can't
they're
find
made of.
jobs though. Send them to pick fruit, and then
They
they'll
can't
have,
find jobs they want.
well,
Exactly,
whatever.
right.
There's a
Yeah,
little
they're a little bit
difference.
picky these days.
Little
Okay,
difference.
so
Everybody should pick fruit at one point in time in their life.
Mhm.
Yeah. Then you
Appreciate the
understand.
work.
Appreciate
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
appreciate the effort that goes into it. And it's not just the picking, by the way, it's also the sorting and the packing. We get art. So So we went through the first variety, right? The second bag, just so you know, I mean, the second and third are both traditional Rainiers. One came from the grocery store, which I bought yesterday. Those are the little ones in the middle.
I found those too sweet. They're one-dimensional.
Yeah, I mean, and it depends on the variety too. Like an early robin is the same thing. Like I actually love the early robins, which we couldn't get this year because they have such a low acid level. So, you know, Bridget, you talked about eating a whole bag of cherries. You'd be safe with an early robin because it's the acid that gets you. And so early robins are very sweet. They're very big and crunchy, but they have very low acid. And so some people are very sensitive to acid. So we had a lot of customers that were disappointed this year because, especially as you get older, your mouth gets very sensitive to acid. And so we had a lot of customers who were very
I've never heard that before.
yeah, and it won't.
Right.
Um,
And
The
then you have a picture-perfect cherry. And when I see a cherry like this, I think about Japan.
exactly.
Because many of the high-end growers in Eastern Washington will specifically grow certain cherries for the Japanese market because, you know, Japanese would be willing to pay $1 or $2 for each cherry
Exactly.
when they look like this.
Or you could buy them from me for $1 or $2 a cherry.
Exactly.
Because we get our cherries off a special export line. We're little, right? So we
Yeah.
have to have context to be able to do what we do. But we have those because we've been doing it for so long. And so they have special export sorting and packing lines in Wenatchee, sort of scattered throughout, incognito. And that's where the export cherries come off of. So one of the differences you'll see between the size difference between what you're getting in the grocery store and what we get is due to the fact that we're getting ours off the export line. So that those best cherries are sort of shunted off to a different sorting
people
and
that will-
distribution system.
Yeah, the people that will pay more money for them.
You're getting
Exactly.
the Copper River of the cherries.
Exactly. And then, you know, the nice thing about, I mean, they are much more expensive. That's just the reality. A lot more goes into those sorting lines to get and maintain a perfect looking cherry. Right. And so like, here's another bag, which I didn't put on your plate. This is a bag. So it's bigger cherries. This came from Whole Foods. But if you notice the blemishing on these cherries,
Yeah, I did.
right? So these are like the seconds, even though they are coming off probably the same line, they're the seconds where we're getting the first. These are a little on the small side because I've picked and choose the biggest cherries for your audience and left the smaller cherries.
Oh,
behind.
you're so special.
So nice.
When I was up picking cherries in the trees at Chinook Winery this last weekend, I got yelled at by Kay, the owner of the winery, because I was picking the cherries without the stems. You know, you look up and
yeah.
there's these bunches of cherries, and you just want to just
Your
grab
hand would
them.
just.
And then I just pull them all down, and you just eat half, put half in the lug that you're filling. But apparently, the shelf life is much better if you leave the stem on when you pick.
Yes.
That's a certain talent because I do not have that talent.
Yes. So we get our cherries off the sort line and they're supposed to take all the cherries without stems out, but then we bring them back and we sort them again, both for blemishes and lack of stem. So the stem is sort of an indication of freshness. If you look at these cherries, again, all these cherries have been off the tree at least 10 to 2 weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks. And if you look at the stem also, we're also picking for the color of the stem.
Oh.
So if the stem turns dark, that means it's been off the tree for at least a good week and maybe not been held in cold storage. So cold storage is another key part of all this. So after it comes off an export line and been sorted in super cold water, like at 32-degree water, they then stick it in these huge coolers with huge fans to dry off the cherries because water and the cherries don't
They'll leave
mix.
spots.
An enemy.
They will leave spots or it'll absorb and it'll split the cherry. And so in these coolers at 32 degrees, there's no moisture in there.
Is it
And
like
so-
single layer? They're like on trays or
No,
something?
they're in cases,
Okay.
but it's moisture free and they have these paper liners in there to absorb any extra. And then when we ship them, we add these. This is one of the keys to shipping a really good cherry is these ethylene absorbing packets because as cherries get older, they start to put out ethylene gas, which is that thing that
Ripening
ripens fruit.
gas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this will absorb it so it keeps it. But if you buy your groceries the other thing you'll notice, like I talk about water is the enemy, and ripening and the ethylene gas. Like when you go to the grocery store, you're going to see your cherries in these bags, right? Because it is a little more delicate on the cherry, and
Should be
the
perforated.
bags will be open. Well, there's holes in the bag,
Yeah.
but the cherry bags are always open, right? And your instinct is to grab the bag and zip it shut. You take it home, right? Which makes sense because you're transporting the cherries. You don't want them to fall out of the bag. But when you get home and you stick them in the fridge, you should open that bag back up
Yeah.
again.
Good tip. And can we just get these little bags ourselves for other fruit as well? The little ethylene.
Sure, you can get them from filters.com.
There you go.
That's where I get them.
Usually when you're buying fruit for home, you're ready for it to
Yeah,
be ripe.
yeah,
Or, yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, you're going to eat this relatively quickly, but ours is going to get shipped. It's going to get exposed to some level of heat, even though we ship everything overnight. So,
right.
and because you're buying 5 pounds of cherries, you want them to keep for a while because you probably won't eat 5 pounds, Bridget.
No. And I tried. I got about halfway through, and there was half a bag of these beautiful Bing cherries from California. Sorry, and I'm like, Spencer.
Slow down.
So
Slow
he
your
had
roll.
a few. That was it. No, he didn't finish them, and so I had to pitch them.
So what's your favorite thing to do with cherries?
Me personally,
Yes.
Jackie makes a beautiful, what she calls her estate cherry jam from our
Oh,
cherry trees.
Uh-huh.
And then I love making like a little fresh Bing cherry and black pepper relish for something like
Some
a roast
savory.
duck or
Yeah, relishes
roast
are good.
chicken.
Or pickled
I'm more of a
cherries.
savory person.
And then, so those are good ways to preserve the cherries when they're in season. So you can
Oh,
enjoy
that's a fresh relish.
fresh relish.
Yeah, maybe
okay.
a little seared Walla Walla sweets,
Okay.
the cherries, and the black pepper.
Yeah, and I would say that Rainier's really should just be eaten.
Yeah.
It's the dark cherries that you have lots of different uses for. And my favorite is just literally macerating it and serving it over like a sponge cake, like a strawberry
Shortcake,
sort of like
but
a
a-
shortcake. You could do that with
Yeah.
cherries too.
Oh, very nice. Yum.
Simple.
And
so-
you, Becky?
Well, I do the clafouti tea for guests, but I like doing something like that, just a rustic tart and kind of leaving it open so you can see all the cherries.
Oh, that's a good idea.
The other cherries we picked while we were at the farm, again, it was 102 degrees yesterday at the farm. This stuff isn't going to last long in
Okay.
this kind of heat. But we picked all of our sour cherries. We had 2 sour
Oh, you
cherries.
have sour. That's
Yeah.
not a lot of people have sour
I
cherries.
Hard
know,
to
and
get.
they're
special.
so good.
And that's
'cause
pie cherries,
That's
right?
a pie
Okay,
cherry, yeah,
okay.
and so good. And you know what really is fun is to mix the two.
Oh,
We made
yeah.
a little cherry topping for vanilla ice cream with
Mm.
combination of both. With
And
a
I would
little
say-
Kirschwasser
Ooh.
cherry liqueur.
Yeah. You could put that in my macerated fruit too and stick that on top of a sponge cake. That'd be
Yeah.
so good.
So-
So, yeah, I mean, of our cherries, I think of sweet cherries more just as eating cherries, but the latest variety we get is called a sweetheart, and it has the most tartness to it of all the sweet cherries. And so I always tell people if you're going to cook with it, that's the good one to cook with.
And the Montmorency cherry goes into
Those are
that,
the sour, yeah.
goes into that tart cherry syrup that I love so
And
much.
people ask us all the time for tart cherries, but they're hard to find.
Yeah.
Oh, and then
and they don't last very long.
No.
Eliza Ward's been our guest. If somebody wants to buy a box of cherries from you, how do they go about it?
You can order online, and we'll give you a discount if it's a local customer, and we get to ship not overnight but ground. We also, the day after we sort a batch, there are rejects available in the store for $6 a bag for about 2.5 or 3 pounds.
Wow, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
Chefshop.com.
Yeah.
Chefshop.com, 1425 Elliott Avenue West. Thank you so much
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
you.
for
Thanks,
coming by and
Eliza.
bringing us these treats. Up next, we're going to make some bouillabaisse
Yes.
on Cairo Radio. It's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM.
thank you.
Thank you.
Mm.
So good. Thank you.
What cherry was your favorite? All of them. The black pearl. And what did you like about it? The snap? The snap, yeah. Both the big ones had good snap, I thought.
No, you guys. Here. Eliza.
No. And
Try one of these.
is it a species of cherry or strawberry? Cherry. Good flavor. Why do they call them strawberry cherries? The color. Like crimson rhubarb, like strawberry rhubarb. Did you know that that's That's rhubarb. That's not strawberry. It's just the color. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is Washington. These are what Eliza brings in, and then these. My question was, how many different varietals of cherries are there?
That would be a good trivia question. 19. More?
No.
All right, Becky, let's jump into bouillabaisse here on the Hot Stove Society Show. Cairo,
Sounds great.
good job. Not everyone ate their cherries. Are you guys full? You hate cherries? What's going on out there?
Mm.
I eat all mine cherries, except for I'll eat the last
And then
one here
some.
tomorrow. I'm Tom Douglas,
And I'm Chef Bridget Charters.
and Bridget, let's make some bouillabaisse.
I love.
Have you been
bouillabaisse.
to Marseille? I took the TGV. You know, that's
From
my
Grand Vite.
French.
That's
fast
the extent of
train.
it.
From Lyon to Marseille one day. It's a couple-hour trip. And for the express reason of having bouillabaisse, where bouillabaisse was born.
Where it's
It's a
from.
seaport kind of peasant fisherman's dish, I would say. It's like
Right.
Traditionally it has 7 different fish in it, but I think that's just depends on what you caught that day. Because
Right.
traditionally they would throw out a net and you pick up not necessarily species direct,
Right.
and you,
Right.
you deal with what you get. So monkfish, redfish, mullet,
Bony
Uh,
rockfish.
rockfish.
Yeah.
They also suggest in the Serious Eats recipe using some of the fatty fish because that helps your broth, helps emulsify into your broth, like a sardine or
Oh, that makes sense.
a mackerel or something like that style of fish.
Well, and you know they'd use those whitefish bones to make that fumet.
I understand that's traditional French fumet, but that's a white fumet, and that's a non-boiled fumet. That's simmered at the lowest possible simmer. Whereas a bouillabaisse fish stock, at least from what I've been seeing and what was taught by my pal Steven, is more boiled. Like you would say, what's the name of that broth in ramen restaurants where it's got the emulsified fat into the broth? Does anyone know?
Something.
Shoyu broth is
Oh,
one thing, and then
okay.
there's got the other broth. Anyway, I don't remember the name of it. But where the bones are hard boiled and the fat emulsifies into the broth
Right.
itself. So same thing with bouillabaisse fish broth. So you can use salmon in this particular one.
Salmon's perfect.
You can use mackerel. You can use all sorts of things in this.
Mhm.
So the recipes I've read or tried to use in the past are all your aromatics: the fennel, the onion, the carrots, the celery, cooked, and then whole fish, whole little red mullets or something into that pot, cooked, over top with white wine and maybe your
little bit of lemon
maybe
juice.
your fish stock that
Right.
you had, the fumet stock. Then hard cooked, right?
Mhm.
Then pulled off tomato paste, maybe a couple tomatoes if you have leftover tomatoes.
Well, and that helps to cut the fat, that flavor.
We're not trying to cut the fat though.
No, but I mean, it kind of breaks it up. It causes it to emulsify, having that acid in there.
Okay. So then you take that out and you puree that, bones and all, head and all, everything. Puree that, and then you put it through a fine sieve.
And you strain it.
And
That
you've
sounds
got
so
that kind of
terry, not
red.
Tom.
Well, it's traditional
how to do it.
bouillabaisse.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not something that I developed. It's
Okay.
just the way that they do it. And now you've got another whole set of fish fillets on the side. Now that you've made your base,
Right.
right, and you
Right.
boiled it, and it's fat's emulsified, and you've got kind of this. If I were-
Bisque.
If I was, it's not as thick as a bisque. It's
No.
more like a creme anglaise thickness.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about how creme anglaise kind of coats the back of a spoon.
Right.
Same thing with this.
Right.
Might even be a little bit thinner than that, but it's a fish broth. I mean, it's
And it's potent. The flavor is
it's potent. Yeah, it's fishy. They don't call it fish soup for nothing.
Right.
I mean, it's not as fishy say as fish sauce,
Right.
but it's definitely got potent. And it's not as fishy say as anchovy paste,
Correct.
but you can taste some of that umami in the bottom of that,
Right.
on the bottom of that spoon, right? So And then you put it through a fine sieve, and now you start making your bouillabaisse.
Okay.
You have to do all that
Before.
to get to the base. And it traditionally has plenty of tomato in it.
Right.
Right.
And
So-
the
Right.
saffron. That's a key. Little-
Saffron, I tend to put in the
Rui.
Rui.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So
That's-
you can put it
both.
into the soup base. if you
Yeah,
want
it's
to.
usually bay and thyme.
and tell
and-
people what Rui is. It's essential. It's a key.
So it's essentially a saffron mayonnaise of sorts, but you're using some of the cooking liquid. You're using your soup base in the building of that mayonnaise.
And what do you do with that mayonnaise?
That is spooned on top after the soup, right before the soup is
Oh, I
ready
usually-
to serve.
I've had it
no,
on
no.
toast.
Yeah, it's on toast.
I've had it on
She's
toast.
thinking bourride.
What's that?
Bourride, the French.
Oh,
I think you're thinking about that where you spoon it on top
Oh,
and stir
right.
it in, whereas the Rui generally goes on a piece of crusty bread
right,
and into the fish soup, or the fish soup is kind of poured around it.
It's like
right.
a garlicky saffron
Yeah.
aioli. And sometimes
Yeah.
it has breadcrumbs in it too.
It makes your eyes water if it's done correctly.
And it's the garlic super strong,
Yeah.
which is kind of cutting the fishiness of
Yeah.
the soup. I mean, it's kind of a poor man's
It's
thing,
not.
but no,
It's not kind of. Well, not anymore anyway.
correct.
Because
With
it
price
takes
of
so
eggs.
much. So we've got our broth.
Mhm.
We're making our Rui on the side, which is a mayo, lots of garlic mayo and saffron.
Made in a mortar and pestle.
Yeah. And then now we're going to bring the soup back, right?
Okay.
We're going to finish our supper. So if you want to do clams or mussels, now is the time, a shrimp, and little chunks of fillet of fish.
Right.
And that's, you're all going to warm that up and cook it in the broth itself. So you've got a fish broth that you're going to cook all the other fish in. And people can choose. When my friend Stephen taught me how to make this dish, he pureed the whole thing. It was a puree soup. There was
Which
no
is-
chunks of fish. It was
Right.
just a real tomatoey fish soup with the
Interesting.
Rui on
Where did he
top.
learn that? Do you
I
know?
don't know. He was a
Ah.
home taught cook. He wasn't a culinary student, so I don't know where he learned it. But he used to make it for staff meal. I bet Sue Hoon used to make fried chicken for a staff meal at some of the restaurants he worked at too. But that's how a lot of recipes get rolling
Right.
in the kitchen. They start a staff meal. You've got something extra. One of the team has an experience in this particular kind of cuisine. Next thing you know, they're on staff meal, and you enjoy. And
Right. I think
I would say a lot of times it hits the menu at some point.
right. I mean, I think the French, because I had a chef that was from Marseille that would make bouillabaisse, but his was a little more elegant because we were serving it in the restaurant.
Right.
And beautiful diamond cuts of fish and skin turned up, and
Yeah.
it was
And
beautiful.
traditionally, it's done in two parts. You've got the broth with the Rui slathered toast, and then fish is separate. That's how Julia Child talked about it. Yeah. So it's not just a one pot. It can be. That's how I make it. But
I would never make it in one pot
No,
like that unless
yeah.
you're making a fish stew.
yeah,
Your
So
fish
maybe
breaks up.
it's fish stew. I was calling it
Yeah,
bouillabaisse. but
you
it's
can.
not.
No, same
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
same idea. But the point being that if there's 4 or 5 of us,
Uh-huh.
for it to be in one pot, it's very difficult to get everyone the same kind of fish, some of each fish,
Right.
and then also having it be in a chunk rather than having it just be flaked fish on the bottom of your pot.
falling apart. Right.
Falling apart. It's not very pretty, which is why in restaurants you see they do a little bit separate.
right.
But they still cook the fish in some of that broth
Mhm.
and then plate it
Yeah.
in each bowl.
Presentation and
I think
Well-
of it as more of a composed soup.
right.
Like
Right. Well, like the fruit de mer that the French do, but it's more broth based.
Yeah,
To shave fennel and onions, and it's assembled kind of a la minute.
right. And the fennel in this is there, but it's all been pureed and sieved.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not visible. Right.
Uh-huh.
But it's for summer. It's delicious.
You really need in this kind of soup what we call in the restaurant business a china cap. So that's that really kind of conical shaped sieve
Ah.
that has a pestle
Mhm.
that you can work the
To grind
Work
through the
the
bone,
fish through the
bones.
sieve itself because
Right.
you want the meat, you just don't want the bones
Right.
and the scales, the other parts that come with the fish, the gills. I mean, the gills are gone, but the collar,
Yeah.
say, of
Well,
the
a
fish.
trick for that too is if folks have round strainers, they can use the back of a ladle in a round
in a
strainer
round strainer,
to
yeah.
push that through, just like with a a bisque, you've got to press all of that through.
A lobster bisque, a crab bisque.
It's
Yeah.
all those goodies are pressed through.
Yeah.
And the thing that is tricky is just avoiding the bitterness.
Which
of
is
those
coming from
bones
what?
and what?
That's coming from the bones, you think?
Yeah, it's coming from the bones and that hard cooking. It's like gauging that hard cooking and not
Uh-huh.
going too far.
Uh-huh.
Because if you go too far, whoa, it gets bitter. Wow.
I've never had that happen.
Oh, nice.
It's not something I make all the time. I'd say I make it once a year. And sometimes I make it instead of the Feast of the Seven Fishes. I just
Mhm.
put the 7 fishes in the one pot and puree it. At Christmas time or
Yeah.
is that New Year's?
Epiphany. It's Epiphany.
Epiphany,
Yeah.
Epiphany.
Well, make it for Bastille Day, July 14th.
Why not?
Why not?
Terry would be proud. We always give props to Chef Terry. He was such an important part of this show. And in our 25th anniversary of the show, wish he was here, God darn it.
Yep.
I
'Cause
know.
you know what I'd be
Isn't that
making that
amazing?
he loved? He would take his chicken and dredge it in Dijon mustard and put it on the barbecue.
Mm.
Oh,
Oh,
so
that
good.
sounds good.
He did the same with pork chops too. Okay, Zane Dunham's coming up next. Founder, chief taste maker at Nowhere Foods on Cairo Radio. It's the Hot Stove Society radio show, 97.3 FM.
And it's Zane and Duke.
Oh, sorry. Zane and Duke.
Are they going to share my card? Both.
Had the open. Yeah, he's so great. Oh yeah.
Becky, would you like one?
So I don't know if you have an iPhone.
I do. I've got a smaller one.
Thank you.
Nice. Thank you.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
Delicious.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's funny. I just took some of the Alpenglow.
Right here.
Yeah, right in front of the camera there. We can put them.
Okay. That's why you're the technical director. Might have to get them higher, shorter chairs.
Yeah, you can just.
You have to be uncomfortably close to the microphone to speak.
How's this?
That's good.
That's good.
How about that?
Good. Every
Perfect.
time and only to the mic. Don't talk to Becky. Don't talk to Bridget. Talk to the mic.
Where did you pick us up?
What's that?
Where did you pick up the alpenglow?
Here.
Oh.
And then I took it down to Tahoe.
Nice.
It was at Ballard Market.
Well, yeah.
Those
They're
guys
great.
have a nice beverage program there.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. So I took a bottle down because I went to Gonzaga and a number of my friends no longer drink alcohol.
Okay. How'd they like it?
Good.
Yeah.
They're all feeling good. They had this, Gonzaga, when I went, was the 9th drinkingest school in the nation.
Yeah.
So there's quite a few recovering alcoholics from Gonzaga.
I can imagine.
Not on the radio, though.
You're on the radio right now. I hate to break it to you.
Well, we're on YouTube. But the mocktails were good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
All right, gentlemen, are you ready?
We're ready.
All right. Let's practice. You got to. Will you either bring him a shorter chair so he's more comfortable? Let's try that so that you're right on that. Well, he's right up next to the mic, and you have to go every time. So what happens is when we're chatting, you forget to go in sometimes. All right. Oh, now look at that, huh?
Oh, perfect.
Look at that.
Have you always been the taller?
Is that better?
Yeah, you okay?
That's great.
You want me to put him on a shorter chair too, or are you
Nah, I'm
gonna be
good.
mad at your brother all day?
First time in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been taller.
I have 6 sisters, so I know the struggle.
Yeah.
All these women out here, I know the struggle.
Yeah.
I'm a saint.
Oh, please.
Not to mention a wife and a daughter. Luckily, we got a male dog this time. We are back here in the kitchen at the Hot Stove Society show. Working our way through hour number 2. Zane Dunham and Duke Dunham are here. Zane is the founder and chief tastemaker at Nowhere Foods. And Duke is the chief placemaker at Nowhere Foods. And I'm assuming you're both going to explain that to me.
Yeah.
What those, I get the place, I get the taste. I'm not sure I get the place. Tell us about your background and your product and what you're doing here today.
Yeah. So we're brothers. We have
You
2
don't
products.
look like brothers.
Oh, my God.
Well,
Irish
have-
twins? Okay. He
No.
said no.
yeah, we have 2 products for everyone in the audience to try. We have a special drink for us. We got, we call it Ridgeline. It's cherry ginger maple. So these are non-alcoholic beverages. And what makes these a little different is I come from a background of working in professional kitchens. I wanted to craft a non-alcoholic drink that you could pair with food. So this one, actually this year we won gold at the World Alcohol Free Awards in London. We brought a taste for you guys to try.
Thank you.
So we were only one of 2 US companies to get that award. And then we also have, I can go into a little bit how it's made, but we have a barrel aged maple syrup for you guys to try as well. So
Delicious.
yeah, we started Nowhere Foods. We're a brand here based in Ballard. We really wanted to reconnect people back to where their food comes from. So right now we have 4 non-alcoholic beverages. We have our barrel-aged maple syrup. A little bit about the placemaker and the tastemaker. Like I said, I come from a background of working in professional kitchens. And yeah, I've been a mixologist. I've been a line chef. I've been a head chef. And then got into CPG and wanted to continue that and really bring high quality ingredients to something you could buy in a store.
CPG is
Consumer product goods. Yeah.
goods.
Oh.
I'll let Duke talk a little bit about his background. Totally different, but yeah.
Yeah, so my background is as an architect and urban designer, and we were actually hiking the high Sierras during COVID, and we were talking, super frustrated with just the state of the food system and how do you have a real impact on the food system. And
Is that what you normally talk about on a hike in the
Yeah.
high Sierras?
We're in
kinda-
delirium.
My
Yeah.
brother and I never talked that way.
Yeah, and so we were just on this fantastic hike, noticing all of these like indigenous foodways as you travel across the High Sierras, and noticed that the disconnection between society and its food is actually that the industrial food system has actually broken. And how do you actually start to reconnect that to the actual consumer? And so each of the line of products that we offer is trying to reconnect some of those foodways and present it to the consumer in a way that is very dynamic and complex, has a really strong flavor profile, and tells a particular story of the place in which it's
Sense of
sourced.
place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's great. And are you focusing all over the United States? I mean, you guys are here now in the Northwest.
Primarily the Pacific Northwest and then California. So
Oh, nice.
West Coast.
And
Well,
so,
I mean-
yeah, West is best.
And then there's maple syrup.
Yes.
The odd man
I can
out.
talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
The one that you guys had a chance to try, so it's a Northwest tart cherry, wild Oregon ginger that we actually not only cold press but then blend just to get a little more of extraction out of the ginger. The maple syrup, we'd like to work towards using big leaf maple syrup, but we get it from Northeast, upstate New York.
Mhm.
There's this really great company that is regenerative organic certified we get it from. The batch that we use to submit to the World Alcohol Free Awards, actually, we barrel aged that maple syrup, which you guys got to try in a Westland whiskey cask for 8 months.
Oh.
So that picked up a lot of like the really nice, like
Wow.
oaky vanilla flavors. It was an ex-bourbon cask. It's of course non-alcoholic, but yeah, that's kind of more about Ridgeline. Like Duke said, kind of trying to invoke that like notion of terroir in the Northwest and highlight it in a way that's great to drink,
Right.
great to pair with food. The sheets I dropped off in front of you all also have food pairings on the back. So we kind of designed like this model menu around this drink of what you can pair with it. So
Yeah,
So
it's
tell
nice.
us. So tell us, sir.
yes.
What's your favorite thing to pair with this particular one? And do you go after all three main flavors, cherry, ginger, and maple, or do you try to pick up one?
I think it's more of like a blend. So
Okay.
I think this drink pairs really well with like heartier dishes like lamb or like pork.
Mhm.
So something with like a little more like sauce and like heartiness to it. But honestly, I let people pair whatever they want with it.
Wow.
Something we actually put inside the 4-pack box as well is dessert pairings. So
Oh, that's a good
um,
idea.
yeah, some of the
Inside
drink.
the box on the.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So we wanted it to kind of be like a fun little unboxing experience where if I can get this open.
Yeah, I love the design on the boxes because it's a beautiful kind of either sunset or sunrise over the mountains with the sky. It's a nice design.
Yeah, Duke designed the boxes. He can talk a little bit more about it, but we kind of want to invoke an emotion, kind of reconnecting people back to that place. So
Yeah, I mean, with the whole concept for the business, it was trying to take what's being done in fine cuisine and present that in a CPG product. And so it's taking a look at sourcing patterns, modes of production and extraction, then also the presentation of the product. And so kind of behind the design of the product, it's trying to almost like take you back to a particular point in time where you were like had this really intimate connection both with food and the place in which it's grown. And so a lot of this is actually coming from kind of like the wine industry and terroir. I mean, what we call it is actually American terroir, where that story is actually continuing to be rewritten, and that's what we're trying to evoke in our products. So.
Yeah. Constantly rewritten, you know, what is in, what's out. I mean, non-alcoholic beverages are so in right now that it's crazy. I mean, I know from our sales alone, we're at about 20% non-alcoholic beverages in
Really?
our restaurants now. Yeah,
Oh,
Wow.
you bet.
we work with a few of your restaurants, Tom. Lola carries this on their menu.
Good.
They blow through it quite a bit.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So nowhere or now here, you can look at it. I get confused looking at it, but you you seem to have a background in these type of products. I mean, you know all about consumer products.
I actually don't at all. I'm
Well, good job.
I am pretty much Zane's muse. He sits there and he talks with just such passion about food and where it's grown, specifically in the Pacific Northwest. And I'm able to pull some of these pieces together. I mean, he's educated me a ton about the way we should be eating and how to actually get there. I have a background in architecture and like urban design, and so I kind of take some of those principles of design and then use that to kind of help us in the back end, the systems thinking and logistics side of it.
Uh-huh.
So
Oh, nice.
Super
Yeah.
fun. What are some of the other? Oh,
I was just going to say, I'm ratting you out. You're also pursuing a PhD at Harvard's design school. Is that
Oh,
true?
yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
am.
in your spare time. So
yeah.
what are some of the other flavors you have in the marketplace? This is Ridgeline.
Yeah.
That's cherry, ginger, and maple.
Yeah, our other three flavors, we have Vista. So that's a Western blue elderberry, rosemary, and a wildflower raw honey.
Oh,
And we've infused a little bit of American oak into that as well. We have Alpenglow, so it's similar to a dry hopped cider. 3 Washington apples, 3 Washington hops, also wildflower honey. It's got a lot of the great floral aromatic notes of hops, a little bit of bitterness. And then our fourth one, a little bit of an oddball, but really delicious. It's called Tidal Break. So it's a pear, cold brew coffee, maple, and then a little bit of lavender. So it's kind of almost like a digestif or like an espresso martini. We infuse a little bit of nitrogen into it. So it's really fun to play with, especially if you want to do it behind the bar or just after a great meal, something to sip on.
Yeah.
that's interesting. It'd be nice. I mean, I'm just thinking of this one that we're tasting now. It'd be delicious splashed into a gin and tonic.
Totally.
Not sure that's quite the idea.
No, I know, but just had this girls' weekend, and half of us weren't drinking and half were, and it's so nice because it's there on the counter and you're mixing up your cocktails. It's perfect.
You can do whatever you'd like with it. I don't, yeah.
You're not going to judge
Nope.
me.
I've had a lot of people say this is almost like a mule.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, you can mix whatever you'd like into it.
Yeah, I like that. I think it was the second one you said with the herbal infusion, the rosemary. But
Yeah.
that with that NoHo gin, I want to say it's made by Ransom Distillery. It's a non-alcoholic gin, but it's got a great little herbal profile.
Yeah.
And this matched with that seems like a fun thing off the bar, right over the bar.
Yeah. We're doing something a little different, I think, in the non-alcoholic space. Like, we kind of wanted to take a look at like not necessarily imitating alcohol. I think a lot of options out there are like making fake imitations of the real thing.
Yeah.
We were just trying to do something different. So like something with uniqueness,
Something tasty.
Yeah. Something with complexity. And like I said, something you can pair with food.
Yeah.
So
And I like that. We often talk on the show about this manipulated product that becomes faux turkey and faux hamburger, which is not our favorite thing in the world. And so I like your conceptually that the one thing it does do when you have a product that has a basis like gin, it gives you some idea that it's herbaceous or somewhere to begin. But these are lovely. Thank you so much for bringing them here.
yes, you can find us at Tom Douglas Restaurants.
Okay.
And then you're in PCC, Met Market?
We'd
Town and
love to
Country
work with
Markets?
both PCC and Met Market. You can find us at Town and Country Markets, though. And we work with a lot of great local restaurants, bars, breweries, bottle shops. So, but Town and Country Markets is your place to go right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
And your
Fabulous.
co-packer is here in the Seattle area, or
It is south of Georgetown.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Very fun.
All right,
Good luck.
congratulations, boys.
Thank you.
Is it fun to work with your brothers?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. Good. Okay. Think of us when you're at school. When we come back, it's time for Food for Thought Tasty Trivia. Should we take on the brothers?
Oh,
Are you guys up for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh my God, we're gonna get crushed.
okay.
On Conroe Radio, it's the Hot
right.
Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM.
Okay.
Hey Cam, will you
you guys stay there, but you're going to share it.
move Duke's mic closer and a little bit up to his face? Oh, you're taking that one. Okay, they're gonna show.
Or did I get the wrong mic, or is this the right one?
You're
We're good.
Nowhere man.
Oh, there you go. Sure, I can do that. Thank you. Perfect.
Okay, boys, you're playing for one of our audience members. You simply have to turn around and pick. If you win,
Okay.
they get whoever wins, they get a 3-pack of rub for free as they stroll through our gift shop.
Oh, there we go. You could throw those in.
What am I doing?
Oh, and 3 beverages.
Ooh,
Let's do that.
I want to win.
I suggest you go to Town and Country Markets and
I actually bought them at
support
Cheeky
the brand.
Cheeky and Dry is where I bought a bunch
Ah.
of. Yeah, I only have a couple left, and
How are they doing, those folks? Good.
Yeah, they're great.
They were so hot there for a minute. I just didn't know
yeah,
if they
no, I think
kept it up.
I think Kirsten's doing really well, and Rocco, and she was a judge at the only American judge at the awards in London.
Oh, great.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And they're starting to sell online now. So
Good
I'm a
job.
fan.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to wrap things up. Has everyone got one more segment left in them? Yes, good.
Okay.
We're back here in the kitchen on Hot Stove Society Radio. You can also find us in a podcast, and we are taping today on Thursday morning, 9 to 11, typically. Next week it's an hour. Next week it's
Wednesday.
Wednesday, but this week Thursday. And happy 4th to those of you who are having a 4th of July weekend picnic. We love that you're doing that. We hope that you use some of our Rub with Love product in there. Rub with Love is proud to say that all of our rubs are gluten-free. Our teriyaki sauces are also. You can find all the nutritional information for each item on our website, tomdouglas.com. And of course, on each jar. Thank you, Carol. In the greater Seattle area, Rub with Love is available at most grocery stores like QFC, Thriftway, Town and Countries, PCC, Met Markets, and all of the above. You know, Bartell's used to carry it, but now we're going to lose our Bartell's.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
not carrying much right now.
not carrying much. That's true. Now they're CVS. All right, Becky, how do we play this game?
Well, each of you are going to get 5 questions, and we've got the dream team over here, Zane and Duke Dunham from Nowhere Foods. And Zane is a chef, so it's going to
So
be.
he's going to kick our butt.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. You guys are pretty smart too. It's hard writing questions for you too.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Oh,
And-
so you knew.
And the
Okay.
winner will is going to pick out someone in the audience to take a stroll through the gift shop and get a 3-pack of Spice Blends. But we're going to start with Bridget, so you can
What
see
kind of spice blends?
whatever you
I
want.
like
Rub
the
with
I
love
like the
spice.
veggie rub.
Yes, rub with love. I was going to say something else. Though. All right, Bridget, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, number 1. It's multiple choice. What country is believed to be the original home of the cherry tree? Turkey, Greece, or Japan?
I'm going to say Turkey.
You got it.
Nice guess, Charters.
Wasn't a guess.
You're gonna find out soon in this fall.
I would have guessed Japan. They love their cherry blossoms.
They do.
Oh, that's a good point, Tom.
Number 2, legend has it that in 1889, a Neapolitan pizzaiolo created a pie featuring tomatoes, mozzarella, and basil to represent the Italian's flag's colors. What queen was this pizza named after?
Oh man, Becky's going easy on me. Margarita.
You got it, Margarita.
I
Tom's
think
shaking
she's
his head.
feeling.
All right, this might be tricky.
Okay.
Both Bostock and Pan Perdu were born from the same thrifty French instinct: don't waste good bread. But while Pan Perdu is soaked and pan fried like French toast, what makes Bostock distinct in its preparation?
It's essentially the
Uh-oh.
toast intact, and so it's dipped, but it's baked as opposed to like a French toast, which is pan Perdue.
But what's added to it?
That was such a good effort.
What's it brushed with and topped with?
I'm not sure what it's brushed with. I know it's topped with almonds.
Syrup, maybe some beautiful maple syrup, and
Oh.
frangipan, and sliced almonds, then baked. But
I got the sliced almonds.
Number 4, in
You
Spanish.
didn't know. You don't have
And
to
French
nod
pan.
at
Don't
me.
forget the French pan.
You ready for number 4?
Yes.
Okay. In Spanish, what does the word salsa mean?
Salsa?
Uh-huh. I'm hearing it.
Yeah. Tom's dancing over there. Sauce.
It simply means sauce. Good job. All right, final question. What do ovolini, bocconcini, and perline all have in common?
Those are all small shapes, and they're usually, well, currently they're applied to mozzarella.
You got it. 4 out of 5.
They apply to what?
Mozzarella
Mozzarella.
sizes.
Oh,
You know,
I
when you
thought they
buy
were the little weeds that grow between your sidewalk. No.
ovolini. Okay, gentlemen, you ready?
I've been complaining.
Zayden
this
too.
Don't forget, talk right into that microphone for
All
us.
right. Number 1, Michigan is the largest producer of sour cherries in the U.S., accounting for nearly 74% of the nation's tart cherry production. Which state produces the most sweet cherries?
That's Washington.
That's Washington.
Yeah.
I'm starting
Wow.
off soft.
Wow.
Okay, good job. It's been a cherry day. The name Branzino might bring to mind an upscale Italian dish, but what does it actually refer to, Branzino? Would you like options?
yes.
Okay, a pasta dish, a European sea bass, or a seafood risotto?
I'm gonna go pasta dish. Oh,
Branzino is a European sea bass.
okay.
Okay.
Ranzino.
Branzino. All right.
I'm just trying to beat Bridget. That's all that I care about.
Number 3, what is the name of the process when sugar is broken down by yeast and turns into alcohol and carbon dioxide when bread making?
Is it not fermentation?
It's fermentation.
Okay.
Yeah, you
job.
got it. Number 4, multiple choice. Which of the following best describes paneer in Indian cuisine? A fermented yogurt drink. B, a spongy lentil cake. Or C, a fresh non-melting cheese?
It's C.
It is C,
Yes.
a cheese. Okay, for a tie with Bridget. Among the fresh mozzarella ball sizes, which one is the largest? Perline or ovolini?
I'm gonna say Ovalene.
Ovolini. It's about the size of an egg. There you go. Okay. 4 out of 4.
I would not have done well on those questions.
Wait till you get yours.
Oh, great.
Okay. Number 1, what famous dessert contains cherry flambéed with liqueur and served over ice cream?
Cherry's Jubilee.
Yes. Have you ever served that in your restaurants?
Not in our, well, yeah, I did way back at Cafe Sport Days, but they served it at the Hotel DuPont tableside
Okay.
where I worked. Was my first cook's job.
It was a big deal back
a big deal.
Big deal.
That's
Okay, number 2 is multiple choice. In Indian cuisine, what does the term tikka most accurately refer to? A spicy sauce, small marinated and grilled pieces of meat, paneer, or vegetables, or a type of flatbread?
So are you talking like tikka masala?
Well, tikka just means
Spice.
masala.
What is tikka?
Yeah, what's a tikka part? Masala is spice.
Right.
It refers to a spicy sauce
It's like a little head that you serve pina coladas with
or a
in a
small
very special lounge.
small marinated and grilled pieces of meat, paneer, or vegetables, or a flatbread.
Meat
Meat, little bits.
Yeah.
Just means little bits. Okay.
in the tandoor oven on a skewer.
Sure. No bonus points. Number 3, which famous beer features a harp in its logo, a design so iconic that a national government had to flip its own version of the same harp to avoid trademark conflict?
Phew. Well, Guinness has that in its logo, but so does Harp beer.
Oh, didn't know there was a harp beer.
Yeah,
But
it's made by Guinness.
oh,
You didn't know there was a
I don't
hard
like beer. I don't like beer.
Oh, Wow.
If it was wine, I'd tell y'all. No, I'm a lover of wine. All right. Number 4, multiple choice. In ancient Rome, fast food wasn't just about bread and olives. Citizens often grabbed a quick bite from street vendors selling what? Small roasted birds, lentil stew, or salted fish?
So bacalao, roasted birds, and what? What was the first one?
Small roasted birds,
Okay,
lentil stew, or salted fish.
lentils
On the go in Rome.
would have to be.
She reads Apicus next to her.
I don't know. On the go, I would say the fish, the salted fish.
It's
the
actually
bacalao.
recently, archaeologists in Majorca discovered the evidence of songbirds as Roman street food, a popular snack over 2,000 years ago. Okay, final question for a tie with these two. Among the fresh mozzarella ball sizes, which one is the smallest? The ciliegine or the bocconcini? Bocconcini.
Am I supposed to?
Chile.
You got it.
Oh,
And that means little cherries.
I was
Okay.
like,
No thanks to
oh,
you
if I had
guys,
to-
especially helping me here.
Well, we've got a tiebreaker and just yell out the answer.
All right.
The first organized celebration of Independence Day was held in Philadelphia in 1777. What's the name of the iconic sandwich of Philadelphia?
Chili cheesesteak.
There you go.
Nice job,
That's
boys.
Nice,
All right.
nice.
Thanks to Zane and Duke Dunham of Nowhere Foods for playing our game with us. It's if you want to come watch us play. No, that's not what I want. Will you fix that for me? If you want to be part of the show, you can join our community on YouTube Live at Tom Douglas & Co. or buy a ticket to join us in the studio here at hotstovesociety.com. Show is produced by Becky Guzak. Lovely today, Becky.
Thank you.
Our technical wizard is Sean McFadden,
Actually, I
who's
wrote that
actually
wrong.
our chef today, and Cam is our technical wizard
Cameron
today.
Thomas.
And our editor at Cairo is Sean. Don't call me Del Torre, or I'll kick your behind. If you miss any episode of our Hot Stove Society show on Cairo, you can listen via podcast. Just subscribe to your favorite podcast app.
Thanks for listening. Happy 4th of July.
Good job. Way to get right
Wait a
on
minute,
that.
though, but they're going to listen.
Okay, quiet on the set, including the kitchen, please. Hi, I'm Chef Tom Douglas.
And I'm Bridget Charters.
Today on the Hot Stove Society radio show, Soo-Hoon Lee of Omni Korean Cuisine and Barbecue shares his take on flavor, fire, and even fried chicken. Eliza Ward of Chef Shop brings us peak of the season Washington cherries. And Zane and Duke Dunham of Nowhere Foods share their non-alcoholic craft beverages. Timberline is the one we tried. No, Ridgeline is the one we tried.
All right.
Thank you,
Good
everyone.
job.
Thanks.
Did you guys get enough to
Perfect.
eat?
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Just take them.
It's just enough to